Yo, what is going on? It is Liam. Here I'm at Elizabeth Park in West Hartford, Connecticut. And today I just want to talk about something that I feel is very overlooked and could be one of the most powerful things in video. How you frame a shot directly affects how it feels for the viewer. Let me show you exactly what I mean by this. When you don't catch on to composition, that's a good thing. A good movie, a good film allows you to get lost in whatever you are watching. Before anything, ask yourself, what is the purpose of this shot? Everything involved should reflect your subject, your message, and your mood. Composition is how you strategically arrange the elements within a frame to guide the viewer's eye. Even neuroscience backs it up. Viewers' eyes naturally land on the intersections of the rule of thirds grid. This is linked to how we read pages, from left to right, top to bottom. Films like Game of Thrones use composition to show power. For example, Cersei on the Iron Throne, low shot, centered, that means dominance. Ever wonder why that grid thing's on your camera screen? When subjects are placed on intersecting lines, it allows for more dynamic tension. It just feels right. When subjects are directly placed in the middle, this allows for them to be the main center of attention. The rule of thirds not only goes for subjects, but shots that don't use a subject at all. For instance, if you're getting a landscape shot with the drone, it still needs to be symmetrical. Psst. And if it's not turned on your phone already, go ahead in your settings and turn on the grid function. When you have the grid function turned on, it allows you to practice framing your shots more, and it'll make your videos 10 times better. And another bonus tip, you can also break the rule of thirds intentionally to make something feel off balance or more dramatic. Every angle tells a story. This even took me a while to learn. I used to think that just getting cool shots from any angle did the job, but it's not solely about aesthetic. It's about how you make the viewer feel. Learn how to evoke an emotion through these 3 simple angles. The first angle is the low angle. Ever watch a Marvel movie before? Notice how the angle always points up at the superhero or the villain to portray dominance. An example number 2 would be a high angle. This represents powerlessness and vulnerability. I was always told to shoot women at a higher angle because it shows softness and emotional openness. And then there's the eye level shot, which symbolizes equality and realism. This eye level angle is used in a lot of interviews and talking head style videos to create trust and reliability. Just shooting this alone, it's still a cool shot with the sun peeking through. But if you just drop it down a little bit to include this bush, it just adds that in the foreground. Just makes the shot a little bit more dynamic, adds a little bit more in the frame, cuts out some of that dead space. And the most important thing to remember, these are just guidelines. They're not strict rules for you to follow. So don't try to be perfect. Just pick up a camera and do what feels right with your own vision. And composing your shots correctly does not end there. Let me show you a quick trick inside of Premiere Pro that editors can use at all levels. So here I have the working project file open of the video that you're actually watching now. So I already shot the first half of me at Elizabeth Park, composing the shots, talking about how to shoot with composition. Now I'm going to show you how I would go about editing for composition. The one hack that is essential for composing your shots in Premiere Pro is guides. So all you would have to do is click on your program window here, go up to view, go to guide templates, and I created my own guides that I can easily access for different aspect ratios. So if I'm editing a reel, if I'm editing a 4K video, if I'm editing a 1080 video, if you were to go in your Premiere Pro guide templates right now, you may only have 1 or 2, I believe. I'll put it up on the screen. The default menu option, I believe it's just safe margins. They're not very usable. So basically this all was shot in 4K. So I'm gonna use the rule of thirds 4K right here, the fourth option. And as you can see, it gives you the guide template inside of Premiere Pro. Exactly what you'd see on your camera screen as you're shooting, you can see as you're editing in case you had messed up the shot. Very easily here, I would come here and say if I wanted to center myself up here, I can come here, go to effect controls on this clip, punch it in, and just make myself right in the center, putting that top grid right where my eyes are, right? So that's with it, without, with it, without. If you do mess up, there's still room to fix, especially if you're shooting in 4K. A quick trick that I like to do for all of my projects, especially when I shoot in 4K, is to edit and export in 1080. So I go 1920 by 1080 in the sequence settings, and it will say this message here. Just go ahead and hit OK. And then what I'll do is I'll highlight all of the clips that I shot in 4K, right click, and then go to fit to frame. So now everything gets scaled down to 50%. So if I were to come here and check out my effect controls, you can see the scale. I can scale this up 2 times without losing quality because it is a 4K clip in a 1080 timeline. And you can see here the composition grid is stretched in a little bit more. So all I would do is click on my program window again, go to view, go to guide templates, and then go to rule of thirds 1080, and it just fixes that up right there. Say if I were to want to make this a reel, I'll go to sequence settings, go to 1080 by 1920, hit OK, and now it looks all messed up, right? But all you would need to do is come here, highlight all of your clips, right click, go to fit to frame, and it will automatically do that. Say if you wanted to automatically punch all of these clips in, right? So now they're fitting to the frame, you can go ahead, highlight them, right click, and go to fill frame. Sure, you're going to want to adjust the position and the scale of these clips when you're going from a horizontal shot to editing a vertical. And then hit the program window, go to view, go to guide templates, and then go ahead and hit vertical rule of thirds 1080. And so now you'll get the rule of thirds in a vertical format so you can continuously frame up your shots exactly how you want them. This trick has helped me a huge amount as an editor. I believe it is a slept on function. Just a bonus tip that I learned. First, let me go ahead and make the sequence back to that 1920 by 1080. Just because that is what I'm going to use. I can go here and then go ahead and hit fit to frame, and then go back, hit the program window, hit view, and then go to rule of thirds 1080 guideline. One of the smoothest ways to guide a viewer's eye is through match cuts. Doing this is as simple as keeping the focus in the same area as the shot previous. Any video you watch, a reel, a movie, a YouTube video, if your eyes are constantly wandering around the screen, it makes for a much less seamless, a much less cohesive edit. It is distracting for the viewer. Let's find a good spot to do a match cut. Here, I'm going to take this shot here of me in the middle. I'm just gonna go ahead and duplicate it, holding Option, and then I'm gonna go ahead and take this clip by holding Option. How it transitions from here to here. An easy way to do a match cut is to take this clip here, drag it over, decrease the transparency, so you can see and you can exactly match them up. I'm gonna go ahead and take this and then just punch it in a bit. Like so. And then bring back the transparency and then bring this clip back, and then you can see it matches, right? And it's just your eyes are already focused on that right side as opposed to this. Let me undo all that. It's just a bit easier on the eyes when you're looking right there and then it goes right into that. That's what's called a match cut. It's used a lot in movies, music videos, reels, and you might not even notice it. Match cuts usually work a lot better with shapes and proper pre-planning. Another huge tip to keep in mind if you're editing reels for socials is these social media platforms are going to crop the edges a slight bit. So be sure to plan your shots accordingly, and you can also use a safe zone overlay in your edit to make sure that everything stays in the frame. So all you would need to do to create these guide templates yourself from scratch is to go ahead, hit the program window, go to view, go to add guide, And so right now we're working in a 1920 by 1080 aspect ratio sequence. All you would have to do is do some simple math. You can use your brain, use your iPhone calculator. That's what I did to create these. Since this is 1920 by 1080, I'm gonna go ahead and go 1920 divided by 3, that is 640. So I'm going to go 640 left, make sure it's pixels. You can pick the color, whatever you want the grid to be. I usually just go white, and then the orientation would be vertical. So boom, that adds your first grid. And then I'd go 640 times 2, that is 1280. So again, coming to view, add guide, go to position, 1280, vertical, left, and then boom. That is how you get your 2 vertical bars. And then go ahead and then do 1080 divided by 3, 360. Very simple math, very easy. Add guide. So we have 360. So this time we're gonna go 360, and then we're gonna go everything the same, but this time horizontal, and then we're going to go from the top. So okay, and then go ahead, hit it one more time. View, add guide, 360 times 2, 720, and then 720 on the top, horizontal, okay. And now you have your guide template. You can go ahead, make sure you're selected on the program window, go back to view, and then go to guide templates, and then hit save guides as template, and then go ahead and name this 1920 by 1080. Okay, and then you go back to view, guide templates, and there it is saved. So if I were to go here, clear guides, view, guide templates, 1920 by 1080, there it is. So as you can see, it's fairly simple to create these guide overlays. If you want to save a little bit of time, I did make a composition pack with all of these dot guides available for you to import into your Premiere Pro project. So if you're an editor looking to get the pack and just save some time and make your edits better, go ahead to the link below and you can get the pack for free. If you want to study cool looking compositions, I would recommend going on shotdeck.com. Here they have amazing screen grabs from movies and just cool films that you can pull inspiration from. It's good to always reverse engineer things that you see that you're inspired by. And I think a good mixture of cool looking things and having intention with your shots is the perfect mix. So with all that being said, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day or night. I hope you're able to grab some value from this video, and happy creating. Peace.